Hello, today we're going to talk about letter R. Letter R looks like this. There's the uppercase and the lowercase r. Let's try to write the letter R. The uppercase letter R looks a lot like the uppercase letter P. We start with the number 1 and then we blow a bubble and slide down. So can you try that? Do you want to practice? I'll show you what it looks like on the handwriting house. And you can get the handwriting house printable. I'll put the link below. So let's try to write the uppercase R. It looks like this, a number 1, blow a bubble and slide down. 1, bubble and a slide. The bubble is upstairs and the slide is downstairs. There it is, uppercase letter R. Now let's talk about the lowercase r. It also looks like another letter. It looks like an N, except for you have to stop. You have to make yourself freeze before you get too carried away or you'll make an N. Make a little number 1, trace back up and over and freeze. Look what happens if I don't freeze. It makes an N, but I don't want to make an N. I want to make an R. So you're just going to make the number 1, trace back up and over and freeze. That's the lowercase r. Since it's a lowercase, we're going to put it downstairs on the handwriting house. So let's make the little number 1 downstairs. And then we're going to trace back up without picking up our pencil. And then come over just like that and freeze. So 1 and then trace back up and over and freeze. You try. If you don't want to try now, you can just watch and then maybe later give it a try. Or you could even skywrite with your finger, just pretend to write in the air. Okay, so let's talk about what letter R sounds like. Letter R sounds like this. R, r, r. You kind of have to put your top teeth on your bottom lip and poke it out. R, r, r. R says r as in rocket. R says r, r, r. I thought we'd do a little game today to help us remember that R says r like a rocket. You can be a rocket today and blast off or jump up really high when you see the letter R, uppercase or lowercase. Okay, are you ready? Stand up. When you see an R, blast off and jump up as high as you can. Okay, here we go. Blast off. Let's keep going. Did I trick you? Blast off. There's an uppercase R. Blast off. Lowercase r. Blast off! I think my dog wants to make the letter R sound rough, rough. I hear him barking. Well, that's what letter R sounds like. And now that we know that R says R as in rocket, we're going to do some blending. So let's see if we can remember what the vowels are. The vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Now let's put the letter R with each of these vowels and we're going to blend these sounds together. All right, so let's start with A, R, A, ra, ra. Now let's do E. Let's blend R with E. R, e, re, re. Now let's try R with the letter I. I says I like an icky sticky lollipop. I, r, I, re, re. Now let's try R with O. O says ah, ra, ra, ra. And now let's try R with U. U says like when you have a tummy ache. Ra, ra, ra. Okay, so you can practice your blends today if you're ready to do that. But if not, if you still need to practice some more of what letter R says, then you can just remember R says R as in rocket. R says R, R, R. Okay, let's do some subtraction today. So I have a really cool sheet. It has some rockets on it. We're going to be doing some subtraction or takeaway. And I will put the link so that you can get a copy of this worksheet. I thought it was really cute. So let's start with the first one. I see some suns, and there are 10 of them. There are 10 suns, and this little symbol right here, it's this little line, it means take away or subtract. So we have 10 suns, and we're going to take away 9. So let's scribble scrabble and take away 9. 1, can you help me count? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we took away 9. How many suns are left? 1. So 10 take away 9 is 1. Let's try the next one. There are those rockets. R is for rocket. There are 7 rockets, and I want to take away 2. So let's scribble scrabble 2. 1, 2. How many rockets are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 rockets. Take away 2 rockets is 5 rockets. Let's try the one with the suns. There are 9 suns, and we're going to take away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many suns are left? 1, 2, 3. 3 suns are left. 9 minus or take away 6 equals 3. Now let's look at this one with the planets. Look at that. I love this planet. It has rings around it. It must be Saturn. Let's see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4, but I want to take away 1. So let's scribble scrabble 1 away. Now how many planets are left? 1, 2, 3. Good job. 3 planets are left. 4 minus 1 equals 3. Last one, I see some moons. There are 6 of them, and I want to take away 3. 1, 2, 3. How many moons are left? There are 3 moons left. 6 take away 3 equals 3. Now you can do some more takeaway or subtraction today, and you don't even need a worksheet. You can use something like markers. I have 6 markers, and I'm going to take away 3. How many markers are left? 3. So 6 minus or take away 3 is 3. Well, I'm going to need my markers for the activity that we're going to be doing next. We're going to be making a rocket and blasting it off outside. Now that's going to be in a different video, so be sure to look for that video where we make the rocket and we blast it off. But to finish this daily lesson, I want you to see a real rocket blasting off. So let me show you this video. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see it with me. Okay, now you should be able to hear the sound too. We're just going to watch just a tiny bit of this, but then I'm going to put the link below so that you can watch the whole thing. It's really cool. Look at that rocket blasting off into the sky. Isn't that amazing? Well, I'm going to put the link below so you can watch the rest of that. That was a real rocket blasting off. And now I want to read a story to you about a little girl named Sadie Sprocket. And Sadie Sprocket builds a rocket. That's the name of the story. It's by Sue Fleece. Sadie Sprocket builds a rocket. Sadie Sprocket had a wish to travel far from home, to travel far from here, to venture through the galaxy beyond our atmosphere. She checked out every book on space, learned all there was to know. No one's been to Mars, she said. I'll be the first to go. So one day, Sadie drew a map to navigate the stars. It's time to leave the Earth, she said, and travel straight to Mars. Because the journey would be long, she thought she'd bring a crew. She interviewed and tested each, and then she chose a few. First, we need to build a ship that's sturdy, safe, and fast. To make it there without a hitch, it must be built to last. They rummaged through the junkyard and gathered every part. They counted, weighed, and measured twice. She couldn't wait to start. Sadie and her crew worked hard to build her rocket ship. She scanned her map and chose a date to make the stellar trip. We launched today, young Sadie said. I've tested every switch. She knew that even one small blip could cause a major glitch. Friends and family wished her well, reporters flocked to see. This spacebound girl with smarts and skill would soon make history. 10, 9, 8, she counted down. The engine shook the lawn. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The ship was gone. The journey took 100 days. She knew it would be tough, but Sadie kept their spirits up. We'll be there soon enough. The crew tried playing cards and games without too much success. The pieces floated all around and made an awful mess. Instead, they read to pass the time and took turns making food, while Sadie wrote down everything and tracked their altitude. The earth behind, so far away, was now a tiny dot. Then Sadie cried, "There's planet Mars! It's smaller than I thought." As their ship was closing in, the captain told her crew, "We'll set up camp and gather samples. We've got work to do." Sadie scanned her map of Mars and found a place to land. "We'll put the ship down over there upon the level sand." "Get your samples," Sadie said. They filled up 20 bags. They tied them tight and labeled them, and then they planted flags. After one last photograph, they packed up their supplies. Then Sadie stopped to look around and noticed flashing skies. "A storm is coming, time to go." They strapped in for the flight. But then the rocket wouldn't budge. They couldn't leave the site. "The landing gear is buried deep. We have to dig it free." They jumped back in, but sand was swirling. Now they couldn't see. When the storm had settled down, they got their chance to fly. But the rocket wouldn't start. "There's just one thing to try." She quickly grabbed her rocket tools and checked the circuit board. They cleared the sand and fixed the wires. Power was restored. Once the ship had warmed enough, they shouted, "Time to blast!" They zoomed by stars and asteroids and made it home at last. Sadie made the nightly news. The world now knew her name. The first to land on planet Mars had rocketed to fame. She triumphed in her mission, but Sadie wasn't done. This pioneer of space had plans. She'd only just begun. "One more question, please," they said. "What's next for you, Miss Sprocket?" "Maybe Neptune, but for that, I'll need a bigger rocket." So that was fun. I hope you join me later today. We're going to make a paper rocket and launch it outside. See you then. Goodbye.